The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
Good morning, everyone. Basil Chapman. Early edition will be replayed at 10 o'clock, so some of this might be obsolete by then. This is Monday, the 28th of July, just about to wrap up the month. And so far, it's been quite an extraordinary month. The Dow overnight gapped up. It had quite a big move to the upside, 45,312 in the futures. Trading up only 14 now at 45,098. This is leg D in the Chapman methodology, as I'm calling it, and we've got a leg D in the monthly chart. The E-mini, let's go to the E-mini at this particular point, trading at 54.35. Got this as a leg F in the E in the futures and a leg B in the weekly chart. Just an extraordinary move in the weekly chart. Let's go to the QQQ. Well, I'll first go to the NQ, which is the futures. This is the NASDAQ. E-mini 100 continuous contract. Got this in leg E. Went to 23,586 all-time high overnight. It's now at 23,498. Still very strong, up 77. You've got the MACD starting to slide. The rate of strength is good, a little lower than it was about 3 weeks ago. The stochastic still at 87%. That's terrific. And the on-balance volume is very good. And it's only a leg B. If there's a new high in the QQQ, because the future's trading overnight, but the Qs haven't opened yet. So if the Qs can go above 567.70 by 1 penny, 567.70 by 1 penny, yes. Today, it means this leg B stays for the entire week. If there's no new high this week above 567.70, and pre-market is already up at 568.35, up $1.98. So far, so good. And as I say, extraordinary move in the weekly chart. IWM right now is trading at 225.23, up 85 cents. So the high that was made, this kind of little double top of 226.05, around about the 8th or so of July, and then a pullback, and then a retest on Thursday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday of 226.74. We'll see if we can break above that. Otherwise, it's going to become a little bit of a cup and handle pattern. Not one of my favorite patterns, but we'll see what happens. Just go to the futures, RTY, there it is. The futures did go higher, but they pulled back a little bit from the injured overnight high. It's at 2,279.80. Up 850. So we're going to be watching this very closely. I do want to go to gold because gold struggled last week. It had four really, pretty severe turn downs from the 34.50 area, just under that, and it went down to just over 3,300, and we're at 33.36 right now, pretty much unchanged. Silver has held pretty well. It made a peak D last week. It's pulled back. It's now down 0.06 at 38.30. I think, as I see it from the chart formation right now, we're probably going to make a peak C this week in silver and go sideways. It'll have to be something really special to get it to 39, into the 39.90s. But fantastic action. When you look at the weekly chart, the steady move up, it's like a walking a stair-step move, holding the 14-period moving average support for the last since January. Done very well. Can take a bit of a breather. I do want to go to high-grade copper. High-grade copper is trading, it's just a fraction down at 5.78. It's done very well, holding at the higher end of the range. Do want to go to crude oil because crude oil, let's see what happens here because it was right on the trend line. Yep, it's up $1.12 at 66.28. So if it breaks under 64 this week, that's going to be a problem. So far, it's holding quite nicely. Okay, we've done that. Oh, U.S. bonds. U.S. bonds at this point down 5/30 seconds at 113.5. Just struggling in a sideways move. That means that the TBT, which is the inverse of the TLT, as the 20-year Treasury bond ETF. This is the ultra short, is down 28 cents right now, 36.81. There are some good signs at this particular point saying that yields might just be in the lower end now of this rectangle formation. That'll be very good. Hey, Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now is up 21.50. Trying to break out of this rectangle. What can I say? I mean, we've been long for quite some time, and we're just looking at this saying, all right, you do your thing. We haven't added, we haven't subtracted. I'm waiting for a deeper pullback at some point to add again, but right now it's holding pretty well at 119,978. The 100, was it still 123,615? No, now the high is 124,535. It gets smoothed out. So that's where that all-time high was on the 14th of July, and it's just digesting gains. So with that said, there are a number of things that I want you to look at here. Even though this is the early edition, this is 8:12 a.m. It'll be replayed at 10:12. This will be coming up at 10 o'clock, of course, replayed Eastern time. Okay. Couple of things that I'm looking at here. You've got absolutely fantastic action in stocks like GE. GE went to 272.80 on the 17th, dropped quite sharply to the right there. It was 254.66 on the 22nd, and lo and behold, Friday went to 272.83. So that's a brand new leg C. That should go a little higher. So as I'm looking at this, these are clue stocks. These are not, these are cyclical. These are the deep cyclical, General Electric, Caterpillar. Look at this Caterpillar all-time high, even as we speak, is at 436.38, up 263. I mean, this is really important for, this is what you wanted to see 6 or 8 months ago, that there was some sustained activity in these deep cyclical. This is the U.S. economy. Caterpillar moving up sharply. General Electric, GEV. GEV is GE Vernova LLC, Global Energy Resources, strong leg D, down today, pre-market, down 234 after making an all-time high in leg D. I'm watching there are a lot of Ds. Look at this. I'll just go through the Chapman wave notations. Look, here's the Dow, made a peak D, it's just digesting gains. It should try to tag the all-time high of 45.73. So maybe this week it's just like a whisker away from that. The S&P in terms of Chapman wave notation is in a leg D right now at 6388.64, but the future is up a little bit. You go to the QQQ, look, there it is, Chapman wave leg E. So all of this is suggesting to me, just purely on a notational basis, that we're getting to some kind of a breather, but we haven't got the bad news, and I'll talk about that. I just wanted to do two things here before I talk about that. One is, let me just go to my iPhone, see if I can find it. Oh, they don't have it now. They had it last night. They had it, this is Oklahoma City. America's tallest building is being built. Unbelievable how this works, always going towards major tops in this coda phase, but it could last quite a while before we get there. But in the meantime, back at the ranch, we're looking at the Dow futures only up 8 after being up much more, and the S&P futures are up $9. I'll be right back. Early edition, Basil Chapman.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Hi folks, Basil Chapman here. This is the early edition. It will be replayed at 10. So if at 10 o'clock they said the futures are up now, only $10 in the Dow, 10 points in the E-mini. Now let me give you a kind of a spectrum of what I'm looking at here. There are times where just as we're getting to the end of the month, on a sharp move down, there is just sudden, we've seen that every once in a while in June, just there's a sudden huge burst of energy and it just turns everything around, and what looked like a terrible month turns out to be a good month. My look at the market right now says there is just good news. I mean, everything here is good. So until we get some kind of negative, and I just saw in the Tiger Den, someone put in, where was it, China? Am I missing something? China, U.S. to extend tariff pause by another 90 days. I'm not sure if that's, Ella put that into the Den. So okay, that's extended, because my thinking here was that maybe China comes up with a bit heavier deal. They're not quite prepared yet. We've got Europe doing this. So, but anyway, let me talk about the patterns. As it stands right now, let's just go to the Dow. So the Dow has been out of the 3 major ones. That's the S&P, the Dow, and the QQQ, NDX 100. IWM is something different because of the small caps. The Dow has been lagging. The Dow got within a whisker of the 45.73 high, just less than 60 points away, and had a fabulous session on Friday, getting back some of that weakness that we saw on Thursday, after the big Wednesday spike to the upside to 45,016. And my thinking is this, that as we go, so we've got all the way until, so we've got Monday, 28th, Tuesday the 29th, Wednesday the 30th, and even Thursday the 31st. So to get a weak August, the only way that I can see it, just on chart pattern alone, because we haven't yet got it on news, and as I say, you aren't going to get a sustained move to the downside until there is bad news. The market perceives whatever is being said. One day, the same thing is perceived as bullish, and the next day perceived as bearish. But then that has to be promulgated through all the media They got to get off this Epstein story, and they got to get to whatever it is, tariffs, yields, I don't know what it is, Powell. Everything seems right now to be ameliorated. So this is still positive. So as far as our positions are concerned, we've got two positions we've had for quite a few days here, waiting for a pullback to see if we can get these, because they look like they're in the defensive, not defense, like Raytheon, but defensive area. And if that's the case, if there is a market pullback and some of the leaders, some of these tech leaders start to pull back, and other leaders like a General Electric, etc., or even a Robin Hood start to pull back, then what you'll see is that money might start to flow into these other sectors. So this is the first time in a while I'm looking at something that goes further out, because what we've tried to do for subscribers to my opening call is, at this particular stage, just get in what's moving very well. I didn't want to wait around for something that's up 3%, then down 1%, then up 4%, and then down 4%. I wanted to be in movers that were going towards all-time highs. We've, in fact, a lot of our positions are at or very close to all-time highs. Some of them have been up for quite a while. But the most important factor right now is what happens next. Does it just stay this way? Well, I'm anticipating there's going to be a slight change, more an improvement in some areas than total deterioration in leadership. Just the leadership might take a breather. So if that's the case, then we've got to look at, let me see if I can go to the XLC. Let me see, XLC. Yeah, so the commercial services, this is the select sector spider fund. Look at that, all-time high on Friday, pulling back a little bit. And this has to do with Verizon. Had a good earnings surprise, I think it was the other day, popped up a little bit, but it's really stuck in the low range. Telephone, same sort of thing, more close to its all-time highs in the 29s. It's trading right now 27, just about 28. And it's round number 28 close on Friday. So what I'm looking at is what happens here. So if you go to something like a Coca-Cola was at an all-time high about back in April, May, in the 74s with a little kind of double top, 73.53 high back in September of 2024. Then it retested, I think it was in April at 74, makes a double top in the cup formation and now pull back. So you can see that a lot of sectors have moved quite nicely to the upside. But now I'm looking at something, let's just go to a Shopify, SHOP. Is a simple Shopify Inc. customized online store platform, e-commerce, makes a high of 129.38 the week of, in 2025, week of February the 21st. And then it comes tumbling down below the 200-period moving average for 2 weeks. It goes down to a little double bottom in the 69.99 area. And then what does it do? It comes all the way back in a stair-step move, peak A, peak B. Remember, a rectangle formation, I actually took that out just because it was starting to look a little messy. But this is the pattern right there. In a rectangle pattern, if you fall sharply and then start to move higher high in a stair-step way, you can go all the way to a peak D at just below or just above the previous major high, and then comes the test, and if it takes out halfway of the rectangle at any point after that, be careful because it can go down deeper. Well, that would be at about 100. So we're at 129.38 back in Feb. And then what do? We go this past, just 2 weeks ago, we go to 129.29, 9 cents below, right? And now it's digesting these gains. So I'm looking at a number of areas that are very much like this, kind of had a fabulous move coming back from the depths. I mean, 176 was the all-time high back in November 2021. It goes to 23.63 back in October of 2022. We actually got this, I can't remember what the price was. We didn't hold it long enough. And now look where it is, up in the 125 area. So that's what I'm looking at. There are certain stocks, kind of important, that have had spectacular moves. Now, if you're looking at the URNM, uranium, Unfortunately, we're not in it this time. Out of all the big moves that we've seen to the upside, we're not in this. 49.36, down 73 cents pre-market. I've got this as possibly a leg B, the leg C in the weekly chart. This is Sprott Uranium minus ETF. Hit 60 back in June, I think it was. What was the exact price? 60.17. This is in May. It comes tumbling down to the 2760 level in April, and then it shot right back. So this is very important. CCJ is one of the important stocks in the uranium area. So I wanted to see CCJ, how any negotiations and what happens this week unfolds. So I've got this as a potential peak B right now, and the daily chart still very strong. I wanted to see if there was any pullback at all today, because this is a very interesting sector. Uranium, Cameco core uranium fuel, one of the top in the uranium sector. All-time high. Fractions away from it. Actually, right now, it's probably right in the 79.89 pre-market. 80.06 was the all-time high just Thursday. I'll be right back. Basil Chapman, early edition, just trying to sum up why I'm looking at this and saying potentially, and I'll get to it in a moment, why there might be a pullback comes Tuesday, Wednesday, into Thursday. I'll be back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Tiger Technicians Hour is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Hi folks, just in terms of the Chapman methodology, for those of you who don't know, I always look for the most obvious lowest low, then count each successively higher peak. The objective is to go from a buy signal to a buy mode, which implies that there should be at least 4 higher peaks in the buy mode, which completes the objective, but it doesn't mean to say it has to stop there. But D is often a very important high. Look at this. We did go to an E back at 11 o'clock last night at 23.20. That was, the price was 64.21.25 in the E-mini. It goes right down. Look how long it tested the 200 period, another technique that I love to use. The 200 period moving average, and it goes where? To peak A, B, C, D, pulls back, hits the 200 period moving average again, and it goes A, B, C. D has an instant restart and goes A, B, C, D again. And then it goes a very strong A, and then opens up and gaps up huge, goes to the high of 64.55.00 at 8:10. That's 18:10. That's 10 minutes past 6 Eastern time. Pulls back, and then it has the peak ABC, a D again, and then another ABC, D. And then I thought, okay, what happens very often with the overnight action, sometimes it happens from 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You just kind of go sideways. And the moment you go sideways, 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 and then break above the rectangle high, I've done webinars on these rectangles. The longer the rectangle, the greater the chances are that if you go, not you, the price goes above the rectangle, certainly at a peak D or E, watch out, because if it comes back and takes out halfway into the rectangle, there's a real good chance it's going to test the base, and that's exactly what it did. It held there for about 40 minutes. And then what does it do? It's more than that, 10-minute shot for about an hour. And then it takes out the low right there at 5:30 this morning and starts on its way down. And what I did is I drew in, when I was up at about 5:30, 6 o'clock this morning, I drew in this left side, right side price time match to a particular candle. And it said that by 10 past 8 this morning, and we're now at 33 minutes past 8, we should be testing both the 200 period moving average and the gap high. So the start of the gap, the high was 64.28.25, and that's where the gap. So that was a target for me. Well, it's now 40 minutes later, and we haven't yet taken out that or touched it, but we got really close, and that's my thing. I'm looking at this, then I'm saying intraday. So I'm doing this show at 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 to 9. So it'll be 9 to 10, and that's Tommy's show. And then 10 to 11 is my usual time, so it'll be recorded and played back then. If at, you remember I always say 10:20, another part of the market move starts. Well, at 10:20, if we are below 64.25, if we move below 64.25, the upside is going to be kind of difficult today. Not that there should be a deep downside, but it just means you're going to start to struggle a little bit for whatever reason. And if we are above at 10:30 this morning, Eastern time, in other words, 2 hours time, if we're above 64.45, that says, okay, there's going to be upside action today, mostly upside. I think that there's a good chance that we start to see some kind of, a little bit of weakness, and that weakness, and now I can go back to the story that I was telling you. In the chart formations that we're looking at, I'll just go back. Let me use the S&P for the moment. I'll use the S&P cash. So with the S&P cash closing at a leg D the other day, all-time high, 63.95.82. Let me just double check. 63.95.82, yep. And that was a leg D. This is what I'm thinking, that somehow by Thursday, the very last day of the month, you've started to decline, and the decline is such that the following week, in other words, a week exactly this time on Monday, if we are quite a bit away from the high or whatever that is, because the Dow might have to make a new all-time high, and then we can start looking at some kind of double topish action. But in the meantime, if we're at 63.95 on the close. Oh, what is it? It said, 63.88 was the close on Friday, but the high was 63.95.82. What I'm saying is that if going into Friday morning, the beginning of August, beginning of August, I always have to check these days. Friday morning, the beginning of August, the S&P is well off whatever the high is this week, then you could start to see that there is a chance that the first week of August actually makes a peak C in the weekly chart. In the QQQ, 1, 2, 3, there it is. It's in leg B. If whatever the high is this week, and possibly by Thursday we start to see a slide, and by Friday the slide deepens, then there's a chance that we actually make that leg B goes to a peak, because you have to have a lower high for a full bar to consider that there's going to be a peak. If intra-week there's a pullback below the high of this week, that's not a big deal, because it's Friday's close that counts. Not this, this Friday going into the following Friday will be the one that counts, because whatever happens this week, it's next week, all of next week, if there's no new high. Okay, I just wanted to get that. I don't want to waste time now, but this is the way I'm looking at it, just because in the Chapman wave notation, we were looking to see peak Ds, E's, and F's. That's kind of where you start to say, hey, be careful. And we've got a plan for that. If it's going to work out, we don't know. Now, look at this. It's so interesting. Look, the QQQ, the price is over the 9. Not big, but it's just steady. It's like a quarter of an inch away from this trend, this 9-period exponential moving average. The 9 is about 3/16 above the black 14-period exponential moving average. All of that's really positive. The MACD has started to pull back. The on-balance, the little gray line, the gray line is a little bit weaker. The blue on-balance volume is overbought, looking great, but overbought, a little bit overbought. The stochastic's fabulous at 86%. So I don't have any signal. I mean, even the S&P, look at this, the stochastic on the S&P is at 90%. I don't want to get in front of this train. At the same time, it's very difficult to get new positions right here with a degree of safety. Yep, you can get your foot in the door, as I've been saying, for people who want to get longer-term positions. Get your foot in the door. Know that there's a good chance that you can see some kind of a pullback, maybe even 6%, maybe even 8%, who knows. But that's the big picture. Is look at this. Leg C in the weekly chart, that should still go to a D. So that's what I'm saying. All right, here we go. So now some questions. I wrote down a bunch of things that I wanted to do today. NVIDIA. NVIDIA is up $1.11 at 174.81. And this is going to be very important because, look, the monthly chart broke out of that up channel resistance, but this is only a leg A. This is a leg A. In the weekly chart. That is incredible. I'll be back in a moment. Basil Chapman, stupefied by NVIDIA's weekly chart. I'll be back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer, the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direction. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direction.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Folks, we're back. Early edition. This is 8:42 a.m. Eastern Time. It will be replayed again at 10. But this is a very interesting added question in the den about, here we go, about Lightbridge Core, LTBR. At right now, pre-market is up 49 cents at 15.25, and that's going to make a leg C. I like this very much. This is Lightbridge Corporation. I remember seeing the symbol and kept thinking, is this something to do with lithium or something? LTBR? Nope. Lightbridge Core, it has to do with advanced nuclear fuel technology. So this is really good. I like it. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. Now, what can we do with this? Let me just see here. Got it. So, Ella, what I'm looking at here is that, look how the monthly chart, you've got to have a lot of courage in which to, if you're buying it, let's just say at this particular level, you're kind of in the middle of one of its big moves to the upside and huge moves to the downside. So I would put it this way, at gapping up at 15.22 right now. Preferably, I would have preferred it to be in the 1460s rather than 1522. But if this is a position you already have, fabulous. Then what I would do is I would add to it right now, small position. And this position, I'd have if you're in it and you've got a really good profit, then I would have a wider stop because it looks like it's walking the 14 and 9 period moving averages. So that gives you a risk. There's a good percentage risk in terms of, it's a wide percentage in terms of 1522. That's what you're getting at right now, all the way down to 1416 was the low on Friday. So that's a big percentage. But I would treat this as something that in the cup formation is trying to get to the high of the 10th of June of 16.65. All right. In the big picture, it has moves that go from, look at this. This is a stock that goes from the week of the 1st of November, 2024. It has a high of 1420. It also has a low of 7. And then it goes even lower than that. It goes down to 4.37, only to come back in a month and a half to 16.90. and then it pulls back all the way to the 200-period exponential moving average. It's done that every time, used it as a springboard, and it's gone to a high. So right now, this has to be the move that goes to a higher high in this cup formation in a shorter time span. Look at the beauty of this. It's like a rhythm where they're paying their folks in options because it has this rhythm like a biotech stock. Every 6 weeks or something, or 2 months, whoosh, it goes to the top and then it comes back down. Whoosh, it goes to the top. So this hopefully is one of the whooshes, WHOOSH, not WISH. So I would just say this looks really good. Buying it right here at 15.22 in the long-term picture, not a problem. Short-term, could be a bit vulnerable, but yes, I do like it very much, and it's. I'm going to put it on my list right now, LTBR, as one in that particular sector that I've got to keep a note on. Okay, so I hope that helps you there. Next question, it's here overnight, over the weekend. I had a question, MKL trading at 2026. Almost at an all-time high. Yeah, this is one of those that might be Markel Group Inc. I don't know what they do. 2063.68 was the high back in February of this year. It slumps down to 1,600. I mean, that's a pretty heavy pullback, and then it has a beautiful stair-step move in a beautiful channel, mini channel, and it goes to where? It goes to the high on Monday, a week ago, I think it was, of 2040. So it's just under that. Here's another one that maybe it makes a double top right here. Yes, it looks great. I don't know what it does. I'm going to take a moment here just to have a look. Markel Group. There we go. Markel Group does. Okay, this is the Markel Group, and it is formerly Markel Corporation, is a diverse financial holding company with a unique three-engine business model comprised of specialty insurance, investments, and market ventures. KEI. Am I correct? KEI or KIE? One of these is insurance. Yes, there is. Oh, I used to have this totally notated, and now it's not. This is the S&P. Oh, this is the ARC Spider S&P Insurance. So all-time highs got the rectangle formation. Yeah, so insurance has been a beautiful performer. The XLF, so it's in the right area. All I can say is if in the next week, so let's say XLF made an all-time high on Friday. Remember the chart we were looking at? I'll go to it in a moment. But let me just say that Markel Group, MKL, I just hold it. It's just walking the 9-period moving average, using the 14 as a springboard in the daily. The weekly chart, it's only once in the last 4 or 5 months touched the 14-period moving average. Most of the time it uses the green 9-period moving average as a support level, and that's at 1,977. And you're at 2026. So if at any point in the next week and a half, let's go all the way to the close of the first full week of August. If it has closed under 1949, the weekly 14-period exponential moving average, that'll say, okay, now I can do a little double top digestive phase. But right now, it really looks good. It's in the sweet spot of the market. Next question came in. Let me go through this. Got it over here. ISRG, another heavyweight. This is at 495. It's up 2 points. It's at 498 pre-market, up 2. Yeah, this one's digesting huge gains. Intuitive Surgical. See, Boston Scientific. Of course, they're slightly different, but it is medical device. Is almost at an all-time high. It just went over its triple top high, and now it's pulled back a little bit. It's at 106.10. DSX, the one I've spoken about quite often, is Medtronic. That one's done very nicely. It's at 92 right now. And the all-time high was way up in September of 2021, 135. It got cut in half to 68.24 back in late October, I think it was, of 20. Let me give you the exact date. October of 2023 at 68.24, and now it's at a stair-step move. So they're all doing slightly different things. All I can say is that This is an area that's a specialized area. The ones that are doing well right at this moment, like a Medtronic MDT, those are the ones that seem to be favored in whatever the economic conditions are right now for the medical instrument. This is an Irish company. It was American. It was bought by an Irish company. Okay, now a couple of things. Let's just look at this. I wanted to show you something here. So, yeah, now you've got this bounce, a leg A in the 10-minute chart. Let me just do this because it's way pre-market open. The market opens at 9:30. Here we are at 8:50. So if at any point didn't I do this? I'll do it again. If at any point the S&P, now at the 5-minute 200-period exponential moving average in leg C, if after 1:30 the Dow is over a about a plus 80, that's going to be a good sign for the close. If it's minus 40 or more, it says, stalling formation. But the S&P, the futures, the E-mini futures, if they are over 64.55 at 1:30, that means the close should be good. I'll be right back.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Hello, just had a question about CMG. That's Chipotle. It's Mexican Grill, 46.84, up 8 cents pre-market. I had this as a peak D in the weekly chart. I had it all notated before, but I've lost A, B, C, made a peak C, and then it pulled back. Yeah. So all I'm saying is that the 200-period moving average of 44.57 in the weekly chart, any pullback from here has sold. Oh, what a pity. I just saw this because I have a whole bunch of techniques that I use for this gap, what needs to be done. Well, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll make a note, CMG. All right. So as we're about to wrap up, you're going to go to Tommy for his morning market kickoff. Great show, of course, and he has a newsletter. So great programming here at TFNN. I did the show earlier. I just some things are happening that I couldn't do it at 10. So with that said, let me just do this one more time. We're looking at the Dow. The Dow futures are only up about 35, but the Dow only needed to get about another, even from here, 44,901. It has 174 points or so to get to an all-time high. An eye blink it should be, right? It's struggling a little bit to do that, but I suspect it will. But my overview is that there is no bad news in the market right now. There is no news that's deemed as bad. There are a lot of good news, a lot of good things going on. To get a sustained move, you really have to have something that just embellishes. It just permeates the market in a negative fashion. We haven't got that yet. So on a purely technical basis, it looks to me like we're getting a little toppy on the daily chart because we extended higher. If you're looking at the S&P right now, the cash closed in a leg D. The E-mini futures, the continuous contract, is in a leg F. It's a slightly different count. But as it stands right now, we're going to see what happens. And it's by the end of the week. If whatever the high is earlier in the week, if by coming into Thursday, going into Friday, we've pulled back sharply, that's the only thing that would say to me next week could be a weak week. But as it stands right now, buying keeps coming in, and we'll see what happens as the day unfolds. See you tomorrow. Have a great day, and stay tuned for Tommy O'Brien coming up.